Hello, my lovelies, and welcome to my channel. My name is Moon, and today I wanted to do an updated review of my PM agenda from Louis Vuitton in the damierebene print. I've had this beauty for about 3 years now, and I rotate in and out of it, and recently I rotated back into it, and I have been loving it, absolutely loving it. And so I wanted to tell you a little bit about my current setup and also the pros and cons of using this little piece in case you are in the market for a planner or you just love planner videos like I do. I've been watching so many of them and I just find them so entertaining. So here is a close-up of my agenda, and you can see at the top, like, it's sort of the canvas is kind of pushing out a little bit from being in my work tote or backpack, but it is really in excellent condition. Look at that stitching. Everything looks really amazing. And I love having a small agenda. I love having a small planner just because it's portable. And actually, when I've had bigger agendas in the past, and I do use them for other purposes, but when I use them as my main planner, which this is, I often feel like it's overwhelming and there's too much going on. I think one of the advantages of a small planner for me is that I'm able to make my to-do list, see my month at a glance, my week at a glance, and also log a few important things. And the fact that it's so portable that I can take it anywhere, in almost any bag, I think is really, really helpful, because I've tried using digital planners and, like I said, also bigger planners, and they can just become overwhelming. And then you end up needing other things to support that huge planner, and it can just become more chaotic than helpful. So here is the snap button, and let me show you my dashboard. There she is. I love this. This has been my dashboard image pretty much since I got this planner. And I'm Taurus, so you see the Taurian star sign right there. I also have a Taurian necklace, and I do identify with my star sign. I guess, like, Tauruses are supposed to be earthy and stubborn and somewhat materialistic and practical, and I relate to all of that. So I like seeing this there to remind me of those values. And this little planner charm I got from Etsy. I'm forgetting who the seller is, but I think this is the second or third one I've bought since I started attaching this. I just get the same one again and again. But after a while, it might break because it's dangling out. And I put this in my bag and it just like rubs up against things. And so I end up, breaking it after some time. But the price is pretty economical. I want to say like $2 or $3 or something like that, so I don't mind replacing it. Here I have my COVID card, vaccination card, a quote, and like I got the Louis Vuitton inserts, and so there's like some stickers and I think a world map or something that I've just put in there, a few things. And then these are just cards I got from different stationery stores that I ordered from online, and I put them in here just as decoration, and I'll rotate these out. So technically you could use this agenda as a little wallet slash planner. I personally don't like doing that. I did try doing that, but when I put my debit or credit cards in here, I just felt like they were a little thicker and they were starting to stretch the slots in a way I didn't want them to. So I like having the option to use it that way, but I don't see myself doing that. I'd rather just carry a card case and put something more decorative here. So that's all I've done. This is also a made in France piece, which is pretty cool. That's not a major deal to me, but when it happens, it's nice. And I do feel like the made in France pieces just seem like better constructed than, the made in USA pieces, for instance. So my inserts are a combination of different stationery stores. I have the Louis Vuitton inserts. I have, but they're dated actually. I don't have the 2023 ones. I think I have the 2022, and I've been kind of using parts of them in here. And I also ordered from Filofax and City Planners, and I think a couple of others. I'm even forgetting what they are. So here we go. That's the front. And then I have some Post-its here that I like to keep on hand. So if I want to make a grocery list or some extra notes, or while I'm out, I remember something I need to do, I just quickly jot it here. And you see I've just written hello here because I got a new pen yesterday from Rifle Paper Company, and I just wanted to try out how it wrote, and I just quickly scribbled that over there. And then I have some colorful paper clips here that are fun, and this is where my planner charm is attached. I love these wide clips, so I've put that there, and then these will just help me if I need to mark a page or something, and I just keep them here in case I need them. And they are connected to this plastic divider that says the month on it, for my monthly section. And you can see the 2023, this is the City Planner Girl. Let me actually see what it's called. Yeah, citygirlplanners.com. That's where you can get this, and you can also order it from Etsy. So I just love the gold. I just think it's pretty, and I have some tab stickies in case I need to mark a page, which you can see I have done already, and I just kind of replenish that when I run out. Okay, so I'm moving along and skipping some private information here. Here is their year layout. And again, that gold is so fun, right? It's just so beautiful. So I like using that a lot. And then I got these monthly tabs from Filofax, and the color, the gray and the pink, is just so cute. And again, it's not matchy, right? I kind of like the randomness of mixing different ones together. They're just fun for me. I think it's because I can't decide. I love different ones so much. It's nice to kind of have a bit of everything in here. So I'm using these, and I'll go to like a clean month here. So here's October, which I haven't really used. And I have the this month page, my goals, which I filled out for August. Important and birthdays, I've already filled that out, but for October I haven't gotten there. And then there's some like things ahead that I've marked on my monthly page. And again, I really like the gold in there, and then on the back of that is the notes. So for my August section, I got weekly pages from Filofax. They look like this, and I started after this week, but I went ahead and kind of marked them out because I tend to do that. Just mark them off when I'm done with that week, even though I didn't really technically use that. But I really like having this weekly spread. I do use a daily spread, so you can see some of my actual writing for this week. And so I just take the monthly, and I can write what the week ahead is, and it just reminds me, kind of gives me an overview of that week. I like having the monthly overview, the weekly overview, and then the daily pages for my to-do list. And I just, again, this pink is so fun, right? So I just mark the days off as they go. And then at the end of my monthly section, there's this burgundy tab that takes us over to the daily pages. And I have a running list of books that I've been reading this year. I also made a list of my values. So these are just some inspirational things. And then here you can see the Louis Vuitton inserts beginning. And these are just old, and I've been using them. So what I end up doing, you can see a lot of writing there, my to-do list for the day, and then any extra things, or maybe things like I want on my radar that I don't necessarily have to do today, but I'd like to do in the next couple of weeks, I'll put on the Post-it, and that'll just travel with me from page to page. And I'll just show you, like here, the clean pages. So again, this is older Louis Vuitton, and I went ahead, 2022, and I went ahead and just put the date in that I need it for, and then I just highlight it. And so I have just a clean page for each day where I can write my to-do list, and it's so helpful for me to see that. And then moving along, I have this cute little tab page that I ordered from Etsy, and I'm just covering up some personal information there since it's monogrammed. And but this just really makes me happy to see that. So I have that in there. And then that takes me to some pages where I'm logging my spending. And again, I'm not showing all of it since some of it's personal, but I have a monthly budget. And so for each month, I like to log what I'm spending on accessories and on clothing and like skincare, makeup kinds of things. I have like a budget for that. It just really helps me to have a budget so that, I don't overspend, but also that I have put aside money for those fun things that I do want to purchase. So I give myself a budget, and I'll start at the beginning of the year with a particular budget and then maybe change it. Okay, so this is a Louis Vuitton page, and then I have this little coffee die cut because I love coffee, and then this other die cut that says just start, and a little ribbon paper clip. I think I actually got this as like a gift with purchase from one of the shops I ordered from. And here is an old school address book from Louis Vuitton, and I just keep like my passwords and personal information I need to just carry with me is sort of in there, and I just old school style just write it in. And there's a little pen loop, and I use this friction pen, which is erasable. And I love this because this is a good sized pen. It's easy to hold. And I like having the option to erase when I make a boo-boo in my planner. And, it just is really helpful because like with using a digital planner, you can easily erase something, right? And I hate it if like an event changes and you have such a small space to work with that I think an erasable pen with an agenda this size is fine. With a bigger agenda, maybe it's not such a big deal to just cross it off and write, the correct date or in the correct place. But for a small agenda, I do recommend having an erasable pen. So I just love this. I mean, this has worked so well for me. And like I said, I was using a digital planner for the last few months, but I just felt like I wasn't reaching for it as often. It was my iPad, and I carry my iPad inside this like floral case, and it's really cute. And I did sort of enjoy using the iPad planner, but it's just like my brain works differently. Like actually being able to flip through pages and know where things are like spatially is just better for me. It just works better for me. And I find myself reaching for this planner daily. Whereas with the digital planner, I sometimes went 2 or 3 days without reaching for it. And then that's not really helping me or supporting me. And not because I didn't want to plan, but just because like something about the digital format wasn't working for me as well. And so I would like to use my iPad and like the digital notebook options in there for something else. But, I have been working with a few different paper notebooks again, like gravitating back to that after like a break for a few months. And I just feel so inspired. And I just feel so much more productive using it that way. So I would highly recommend a small planner. If this kind of a system works for you, where you like to see the monthly layout and the weekly layout, and also have daily pages, and that's really what you need your planner for. And then just store a couple of other pieces of information. You're just looking for something portable and cute and practical. I think this is awesome. Now the rings in here, it is pretty small. Okay, tiny. These are the original rings that came with the planner. I have watched videos where you can change out the rings so they're a bit bigger, and then you can have a chunkier planner and fit more in there. I'm kind of worried about doing that. I mean, first of all, I'm just nervous about taking the rings out and inserting the other ones after watching a video. I'm just not, I enjoy like stationery, but I'm not crafty that way. So I'm afraid I would mess it up. But also I kind of like the limitations of the ring, because the rings in here, they're narrow and I can still fit everything I need to, but I don't go overboard. And one of the real advantages of these rings is that it's totally flat. So when you go to write in here, like your hand isn't brushing up against these like chunky rings. And so I worry if I changed the rings and they were slightly bigger, that my hand would be hitting against those rings as I wrote. So you just have to like rotate things out. Like as far as the months go, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months in here. The weekly layout, I just put in a month at a time. And the daily layout, I put in enough pages for at least 2 weeks to 4 weeks. And as I go through the daily pages, I'll just rip them out and then add more in. And, I'm still able to have a few extra sheets and things in here, and it works just fine for me. So I don't think that I would want to get like an or GM agenda. I would like to do, however, a collection video on the different planners and notebooks that I've been using lately, because I do like having a bigger agenda, but just not as my main agenda. Ironically, like the small agenda has really worked for me, and I have been an agenda fan since I was in high school. So for years, like I loved always going to stationery stores, buying a new agenda, the freshness of a new agenda, and like the hopefulness that this was going to be like the best one and you're going to be able to plan so well from it. And I kept gravitating towards bigger agendas. It was only recently in the last few years that I began experimenting with the mini ones. And I realized I should have been doing this all along. Like they're so much more practical and they're adorable. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed my updated review of my PM agenda in the damierebene print. If you did, please give me a like and subscribe. I would love to have you follow me and let me know in the comments, what kind of agenda do you use for your planning? Is it digital? Is it paper? Small, big? I love hearing from you and I do my best to respond to every comment. Thanks and have an awesome week.